Star.
And we're live. I'll unmute
It's
Mandy
so
because she might not have
short.
realized.
Am I
I,
still
I,
muted? Okay.
no, I unmuted you. I unmuted you before I put the card up.
Oh, that was
Then it
short.
didn't.
It's weird not having Chris to do the full,
Oh yeah.
and we got to blah, blah, blah. It was weird. Hey, you guys in the chat. Hi.
Hello everybody.
Hello.
Lugnuts, Larry, Trace XL, Gaming or What?
Now you had to do it like this. You have to go gaming or what?
Vlad's here. Hello brother. How you doing?
Hi.
And Vlad was first. He gets an imaginary cookie
Ooh.
because he was first.
I tried to buy a cookie today at the Great American Cookie Company thing, but they were out of double doozies, and I was like, nope, you don't have my double doozy. I don't want your damn cookie.
My wife likes their cookie cake, their slice of cookie cake.
They're good. They're good. They had
That's what
everything put up. I forgot that like our mall closes early because it's Sunday. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go get a cookie, and they had like 4 different kinds, and they were all crap ones, and I'm just like, no.
They're actually building a marble slab creamery / cookie company like 10 minutes from me. Like a standalone store that's those things combined.
Right?
I was like, could you not combine 2 better things?
Right. That's
marble
amazing.
slab creamery and the cookie company. My wife's kind of excited.
Right
now she has to drive 20 minutes now to get her slice of cookie cake. So instead she can drive 10.
Nice.
Which means it'll just cost me more money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well. Yeah, it's the price you pay for cookies, right?
Yeah. Deej, what's up, brother?
Hey Deej. He drives a tractor. Are you getting ready for tractor time? Deej, it's almost time to start harvesting the fields. I know about these things. About field harvesting.
Field harvesting?
I don't.
I think Pete's telling us that maybe we should get on to the actual interview instead of talking about cookies.
Pete, don't worry about what we do over here, sir. So I'm ready. I'm ready.
Just about hashtagging tonight. Yeah, spring is planting time, Mandy.
Oh, yeah, it's time to plant your crop.
Because everything dies in the winter. So then you have to plant it or you harvest it before the winter, then you have to plant it in the spring.
Plant some carrots and watermelon and plant some strawberries. Plant all the good stuff that people like to go and eat. I like the good stuff. The food stuff.
Don't give her any ideals, Pete.
That won't work. I tried to plant Skittles when I was a kid because I thought that it would grow like a Skittle tree. And no, nothing happened. Nothing came of it.
Just got ants.
Just got ants.
Yeah, all you got was ants. It's the South. All you got was more red ants.
More red ants and piss ants. Have you seen the cow ants? The velvet ants? They're back. I haven't seen them since I was a kid, but like I've seen a ton of them again. The furry ones that are red and black, and they're like cow killers or velvet ants or something like that. But they're big, and oh my gosh, they're scary. They're scary.
So let's start the interview. So people are like, what are we talking about? We're talking about Skittle trees and cookies and tractors, planting stuff.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to answer all the hard questions that you have for me. I'm prepared.
I don't know if you're as prepared as you think you are.
Oh, I'm prepared, sir.
Or if I'm as prepared as I think I am. That may be the right way to do it.
Yeah.
So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
So
well, it was a cold day in November.
The heat was out. Dad gave my mom that look.
So, what age am I?
No.
Oh, I thought
you cut off. You cut off my question.
Sorry. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. So you're going to be a hostile interview. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna do as well as others, I'm sure.
I haven't done many interviews, so it won't be a big deal. So what age were you when you got into like all your nerdy things you like comic books? I know you're into like Dungeons and Dragons, Magic.
All of them came at a different time. Comic books was what I started with. I was probably about 4 when my brother took me to the first like comic book store just because he got stuck babysitting me. And luckily, I'm such a youngin' compared to my siblings. When I was about 4, he was 16. So he drove me and he bought me my very first comic book, which was Rainbow Bright. After that, I was probably about 14 or so when all the guys in I grew up in a subdivision. I should start by saying I grew up in a subdivision where I was literally the only girl. There was about 8 or 9 kids that lived there, and I was the only female. So when they started on comic books and, like when we were little, we would all learn how to moonwalk like Michael Jackson and play pinball and stuff. But as we got older, I started playing D&D and Magic and all of that good stuff. So early teens, I would say. About.
They're arguing now what kind of egg it was and if it was under a rainbow or where it was at.
What egg?
Oh, you didn't see the comment I highlighted a minute ago?
Raised by badgers.
Yeah.
Don't be talking about my mama like
Pete.
that.
Okay, so when did the writing and the art did it back up, huh? Did you also get into those things when you were younger, or is that something that you started as you got older?
No, actually, my best friend and I in first grade made our first comic book. It was the Mandy and Robin show. Yeah, we named it the show. But it was a little comic strip that we did, and we each would make one, and then we'd pass them back and forth, adding like the next panel and on and on. And yeah, they were horrible and god awful, but yeah, I would say about first grade, I started my first comic book that often got taken up by the teacher. A lot of times I got caught with them. But yeah, I've been doodling comic stuff since I was before I can even like really remember. I like the medium of comic books. I love the art with the story, and I have since as far back as I can remember, really. So yeah, it was only natural that when I was doing like little stuff in school, doodling when I was supposed to be listening, yeah, I broke up panels, and yeah, it was awesome. We got into adventures.
So if you had to pick one, which would you say is more fulfilling, and do you enjoy the most, writing or art, drawing?
Oh, definitely the writing. Definitely the art. I get annoyed really, really easy because I see it so clearly in my head what I want to do. Like I can see it, but then like, I don't know, my hands won't do it when I try to put it on paper. It never looks like it does in my head. So it really drives me crazy. I love drawing, but it is more annoying. When I write, that's literally me just like getting a glass of lemonade and sitting back and just closing my eyes and thinking. And that, I'm in my head all the time anyway. So it's terrifying there, but that's where I hang out. So yeah, but honestly, I do, as far as like what I like doing the most out of everything would be coloring. I love coloring. That's without a doubt my favorite part of the process. I don't do it a lot. And like I was supposed to do the colors for Work the Wizard too, and I stuck it back on Pete because I just don't have time. So poor Pete.
Pete's not busy doing anything anyway.
No, he don't do nothing. Yeah, he's just lazying around, not doing nothing. You got to keep him busy. Keep him sharp.
Just drinking pints and eating fish and chips.
Right?
Over on the other side of the pond.
That's all he does. That's it.
Watching old reruns of Are You Being Served and Faulty Towers.
Yeah, I think he watches Blackadder a lot. And Monty Python.
Oh, that's what I was trying to think of, Monty Python.
But he doesn't watch the good ones. He doesn't watch Life of Brian or The Holy Grail. He watches the ones nobody knows about. I don't know.
That's because he was into it before it was cool.
Is that what it is? No, yeah, I'm not buying it.
That's like a hipster. I have a friend that's like that. Slightly off topic. I have a friend that's like that. And anything you talk about, he's like, "Yeah, but I liked that before it was cool to everybody."
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're talking about.
Right. I say the same thing about Weezer, though, because I liked Weezer long before they came cool. And I remember in 6th grade, maybe it was 7th, but I remember people talking shit about my Weezer shirt. And I'm like, no, y'all just don't know. And then they come out with that crappy Beverly Hills song. Everybody's like, ooh, I love Weezer. And it's like, no, you love this new bullshit Weezer. Same with Finger 11. They did the same thing. I liked Finger 11 before they got cool, and then they came out with that crap song, might I add. And everybody's like, Finger 11. It's nope.
That's always what happens, though. Somebody goes mainstream, and then you buy, if you're not an actual fan, you buy the album, and that's the only song you like on the album, and you're like, the rest of that album's bullshit. It's like, yeah, because you just like the one song that they played on the radio.
Right?
Exactly. That they put on the album so you would go buy the album. Now they have your money. Congratulations. So, how did you make the transition from, we'll just say you're a general all-around nerd, into nerdy things like many of us are that hang out on YouTube. How did you make the transition from enjoying comic books to deciding, hey, I'm going to make my own comic book?
Stroke of stupidity, probably. No, I stopped reading them for a while. The quality of the comic books really got bad. And then at the same time, it just coincided with the exact same time I started, like living a more adult type of life where, I had kids and a job and all of that. So I kind of quit reading them. And then years went by, and then I realized, wow, all of these comics have really been crappy for a while. And yeah, when I got the new Rainbow Bright comic, it was like, okay. As soon as I found Comicsgate, and I found out that there was a way I could, I never thought that there was a possible way I could ever figure out how to print a comic book. But, once you find Comicsgate, you realize, wow, I could actually do this. And I think that's what it was. I knew that comics kind of sucked. I found Comicsgate. I believed in the fundamentals of Comicsgate. And I wanted to get something out there. I thought it would be cool to do it. Stupid. I did it.
So you just stumbled upon Comicsgate?
Yeah, pretty much. They came out with a new Rainbow Bright comic. And when I found out about it, I thought, oh, what a perfect way to get my little girl involved in comics. She loves manga. So I thought this would be perfect to get her, reading comics too. So I started getting them. And about issue, 6, they canceled it. So I went to go buy another one the next month. And it was like, oh, it's been canceled. So I started looking well, why did they cancel it? And then I found out because I didn't even know what an SJW was. I had no idea what that was. I'd never heard that term before. So I started digging. And of course, you start digging into comics and SJW and cancel culture. You come across your boy Zach. And through your boy Zach, I came across Ethan. And it just kind of snowballed to where I found Comicsgate. And I'm like, there is a group of people out there that have the knowledge to make comic books. And they're kind of saying, screw the big two. We're going to do our own thing. And I loved that. I loved that they, all of these, because I've always liked indie comics. So I love the fact that, there was all these people and they were so passionate about it. And yeah, so I joined. I jumped ship.
I think that's a natural progression in most things since technology has become so readily available. I mean, everything now is, you see all the big companies in all kinds of industries freaking out because, like, you don't need to be a billionaire to make a movie now. You
Right.
don't need to be you don't need a record contract to put an album out, or, as the kids would say, some downloads on iTunes or whatever.
Exactly.
I guess people still call them albums. I don't know. That makes me feel old.
I think it's okay. I think
it's like a natural progression.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go spend hundreds of thousands of dollars anymore to go to college for a lot of this stuff. You can watch YouTube or find stuff on the internet,
Mm-hmm. And learn how to do it. I watch a lot of art tutorials on YouTube and like coloring tutorials and stuff like that. I love those, and makeup tutorials too, but I'm probably the only one. I'm looking at the chat over here. I'm probably the only one in the chat that watches those. But y'all, there's some pretty girls doing the makeup tutorials. I ain't even lying.
Dandelion was in there a minute ago. She may.
Oh, was she? Well, hi, Dandelion.
And Deej does.
He has to. He totally seems like the kind of guy that would be watching the makeup tutorials.
Stuff has to match his onesies.
Right? So he needs to get that smoky eye look. Yeah, that makes sense.
He uses lots of John Deere green.
Right, to match his farm equipment. Exactly. He's got that orange for that, what is it, Husa or whatever it starts with an H. Huerta or something like that.
Husqvarna or...
That's it. Yeah, that thing. I know my name.
Okay. Vlad apparently watches makeup tutorials because he said he's here too.
Ah, those are good. So
you found Comicsgate and you said, well, fuck it, I guess I'll make a comic book.
Yeah.
So I've heard you speak before that Wart was always something that was kind of rolling around in your mind, and anyway. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So was that the first thing that came to mind, or was there several ideals and that's just what you thought, oh, that would be good?
No, that was the first one that came to mind, just because honestly I didn't know if, when I first started, I had to join Comicsgate, I had to make a Twitter. I didn't have one. I've never had one. I had to go and make a Facebook. I had to make a YouTube. So when I went into it, I thought I wasn't doing it to like make money or be successful or any of that, because I didn't think I would be, right? I'm not an artist. I'm joining up with some amazing artists, and it's really hard to sell a story, just a story. You know what I mean? And I'm the writer. So I wasn't expecting it to do well. And that book meant the absolute world to me, because it was a story I made up for my little girl. The main character, Wart, I kind of like styled him a little bit after my dad in a way, the goofiness and silliness. So it really meant a lot to me. And like I said, I just wanted something, when all was said and done, if I would have ended up with one comic book, one Wart the Wizard that was mine that I could give to my little girl, that was really all I was doing it for, was just to say, oh, we made a comic book. You know what I mean? So that was kind of what I was going for. I had no idea that I would anybody would notice me, or, that my first book would make 17,000. I never in a million years thought that. I was expecting barely getting funded. And I would have been happy with that too, because I just wanted to make a book and to kind of, stick it to the big two, as well as give something to my little girl.
So how hard were you sweating and almost urinating yourself when you clicked the button for your campaign to go live, your first campaign?
Dude, the level of nervous is so... Let me start by saying that when I first started streaming, I would come off of a stream and I would throw up just because my nerves, but from having to be on camera. But now I'm comfortable with it. But I wasn't in the beginning. I was terrified because you're literally like, you're worried about yawning because they're going to get a picture of you with your mouth open and add things to it, and you're just worried like, oh gosh, what if my nose itches and it looks like I'm picking a booger and then somebody's got me, like, you know. So I was really, really nervous about it being on camera. That stressed me out. And the moment I hit that live button, yeah, it was rough. I thought I was gonna throw up on live stream because I was so nervous. So nervous. I didn't think I was gonna get funded. I did on I think it was day 3. I got fully funded, but not in a million years did I expect it.
Hey, Rookie.
Hey, Rookie. I seen them cookies today, boy. He was baking cookies. Made me hungry, too. Rookie's cookies. I told him about that idea. He liked it.
Yeah, he and I talked about it a little bit.
Did y'all? He liked it.
It still needs to be done at some point. That would be hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Peter back in the cookie talk.
Hashtag cookie talk. Yes, the internet's weird to me because, like, I'm very introverted,
mm-hmm.
and don't like crowds or really people I don't know until I know them for a while. But for some reason, this is different for me. Like, I can just get on here and I can just get on here and talk to people. I don't know why it's different because people can see me and I can see them. But
see, I'm better in real life than I am on camera. I'm better in real life. I'm a little bit introverted. Like, I'm not going to be the one that first walks up and says something to somebody, but if somebody comes up and talks to me, I'll keep them there for like an hour, making them talk to me. So, my nervousness though comes off as hyperactivity. I guess it comes off as a massive energy, but a lot of times it's just nerves. But my nervousness comes off as energy. So, yeah, works out.
So, I know I'm sure before you published or decided to do your campaign for Ward, I know you were looking at all these other campaigns and doing your homework. So, how ready do you think you actually were when you started your campaign for Ward?
No, I was. There is no way, I don't think, to get prepared for a campaign until you do it. You don't understand. Like, I would listen to creators talk all the time. You know what I mean? So, and I knew that, stuff comes up and this happens and that happens. And there's no way. It's so, you have to be really strict with yourself. And that is very, very difficult because there's nobody like standing over your shoulder saying, Mandy, you have to draw blah, blah, blah pages today. You have to do this today. There's nobody telling you to do it. So you really have to rely on yourself a lot. And then while you're trying to do the book and promote is a nightmare because you are, you're taking 4 or 5 hours a day on streams and you have to do that. But at the same time, you're not drawing. And then when you come off the stream, you're groggy. You're kind of like, you're just kind of, oh, wow, that was a long one, but then you got to get up and you got to be like, okay, but now I have to work. Now I have to get the book done. No, it's much, much better. I wish I would have not started over mid campaign to do the redraw. That was, it looked better. Don't get me wrong. It looked a lot better and the customers got a way better product because of it. But I didn't like leaving it up that long. And I'm sure there were people there at the end, like sitting there like, this girl ain't going to fulfill. She ain't going to do it. There are too many. But yeah, and then you have that extra, because you have all of these people's money and they are relying on you to give them their product. And you don't want to mess anything up. And I was so nervous and it was my first time. I didn't know what I was doing. So everything I did, I had to go ask somebody like, hey, how did you do it? Hey, what what page thickness did you pick when you printed your book? And did you get the UV cover? Or did you get the matte, or did you get the glossy? What did you? There's a lot of that. There's no way to prepare. You just have to throw yourself into it. Kiss your ass goodbye and cross your fingers. That's pretty much running a campaign.
There's a question from the audience.
Oh, let's see. Mandy, Peter just got through Super Dad. You outdid yourselves. One of my favorite scenes. Oh my goodness, thank you. It's really something special. Are you two planning the sequel? If so, yes, we actually are. We are going to do Wart the Wizard 2. And then we are jumping right back into Super Dead. So, yeah, it'll be coming probably around fall. It'll be here. So, yeah, and thank you so much. I'm so glad you liked it. My first big girl book.
Isn't that Anthony's brother?
Is it?
I think. I could be wrong. I think it is.
Well, hi.
I think. I could be wrong about that. For some reason, though, I'm thinking it is.
JJ said no. Yeah, JJ said no.
JJ said, I was taking a stab in the dark.
But yes, we will definitely be doing a Super Dead 2. I've got some really, really, really good ideas for Super Dead 2. So if you like the first one, be prepared. The second one, we are going to go into a little bit of the backstory of Omega Atlas, so you can kind of get more of an idea of where he's coming from. We're going to go a little bit into Devour's back. We touched on it a little bit in the first book, but we're really going to dig into that a little bit more now, as well as, at the end of the book, what was happening. He's headed towards the city, right? So you'll have to get the next one and see where that's going. Oh, we should. Leroy the Possum. He hasn't been by in a couple of days. I think it got warm and he's not coming in here for heat anymore. He hasn't been, and he hasn't touched his cat food in a couple of days. I hope he didn't get hit by a car. He was just starting to come up to me and eat a little bit out of my hands.
It's the South. There'll be another Leroy the Possum.
There will probably be another Leroy. There's a bird that gets in here somehow. I don't know how, but during the day sometimes I'll see it in here. Flying around being
your
a bird.
Office?
Yeah, being a bird. being a freaking bird in here, yeah.
You say stuff that gets me way off track. The middle school I went to was in the shape of a square.
Uh-huh.
And the hallways were like a square, and there was like a courtyard in the middle.
Oh, cool.
So like there was in classrooms that looked into the courtyard, then on the opposite side were classrooms, it looked out regular outside. I guess that's still outside, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Well, the way the sun would shine into the courtyard, it would reflect the sky off the big plate glass windows. Mm-hmm. So you'd be sitting in class, and all of a sudden, a bird would just fly right into the window and die.
Oh, no!
It happened all the time. It was so bad.
I would have cried. I hit a bird with my car once and cried.
So, middle schoolers thought that was the funniest damn thing ever, Bunch of immature middle school kids watching birds fly into the windows and break their necks.
Oh, and Dandelion asked, if my copy of Super Dead hasn't arrived, should I be worried? Well, a little bit. If you are international, maybe not. I'm just finishing up. I finished up a few internationals last night. So if you're internationals, then no, don't worry about it just yet. But if you are within the United States, definitely DM me. And I'll get that, because you should have yours if you're within the U.S. So definitely, if you haven't got yours, DM me and I'll see what happened, or try to figure out what happened. I'll send you another one, so you won't be. Oh, okay, yes. JJ just told me yours. I actually did those last night. They will be in the mail first thing tomorrow morning. So be on the lookout. It'll be there. So yes, don't worry yet. They're coming tomorrow morning. So yeah, I just finished up Canada actually. So yeah. And I'm sorry it's taken me forever, you guys. I'm so sorry. Real life is just kicking my butt right now from one end of the hallway to the other. So, but yes, they go out tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure I probably got yours ready last night. So, yay. I'm so glad. I hope you love it. You'll have to let me know what you think.
Yeah, Dandelion, you can do a review.
Yay! Yes!
Do a review from Canada.
Yeah! It's cold there.
Instead of just Pete talking about British stuff.
Pete and his British stuff. Look, I was on a stream last night, and for whatever, and I don't know why I did it, but I was on a big stream too. It was on with Shane Davis, and for whatever reason, I just screamed out. I was like, "That's a glory hole." And I don't know why I said it. It was really weird. And then I just sat back like really super proud of myself. And it was really awkward. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know why I said
Talking about people clipping stuff.
I don't know why I said it. It's like I was waiting for a time to like join the conversation. So I wasn't sitting there all quiet. And they finally started talking about something that I knew about. So what it looked like is, they mentioned like a glory hole, that not by name, and I got all excited, like I got a gleam in my eye, like, yeah, this girl's excited about a glory hole. I was just excited they were talking about something that I knew about,
though. That would be awkward for you just to randomly yell out in the middle of a conversation. That's a glory hole.
That's what I did, though. That's what happened. That's what happened to me. I'm sure Shane will have me back real soon.
Yeah. Let's have that glory hole girl back on.
Don't give me that nickname. That's like the worst one yet.
I have a story to go along with that, but I'll wait because I've got off topic way too much. I'll talk to you about it after the stream. So, was there a point in the middle of the work campaign that you just sat there one day and was like, I can't do this. This is a shit show. Like, did you get down on yourself? I know, not making you sound bad, but I'm sure a lot of through the way you were like unsure of yourself.
Oh yeah, yes and no. I knew that I had to finish it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts because I had people's money, and it's not mine until everybody's gotten their books, right? Until then, it's just like I'm holding money until it's, they get their product. So I knew I had to do it, but there were days where I would sit back and think, why am I doing this? What am I trying to prove? I'm exhausted all the time. I'm not, I've lost about 25 pounds. Am I not giving my kids enough attention because I'm doing the live streams? Yeah, you go through a lot of self-doubt, especially when you are on top of everything else. You're trying to make a book and put everything into this book, but at the same time, you're trying to get people to like notice you and to buy into your dream. And there were days where I questioned, what am I, a glutton for punishment? Like, you get a day where you have, 8 trolls attacking you, say on Twitter. And it's just like, why did I put myself up for this? Why did I do this to myself? But at the same time, the next day something great happens and you're like, this is why I'm doing it. So it very much is a roller coaster. You had days where you were just ecstatic and like, yeah, fuck right, I'm going to do it. And then you have days where you're just like, oh, God, can I even do this? Can I pull this shit off? So yeah, I had days like that. Not many. I'm pretty cheery and pretty optimistic person. So not many, but there were definitely days where something bad, it always like worked. If something really, really bad happened, that's when I would feel like that. But most of the time I was good. I was ready. So.
Yes, Dandelion, I do have good and appropriate stories.
He does.
Which when I used to just go on streams late at night and drink too much beer, a lot of times the inappropriate stories would come out. I do, for some reason, have lots of random inappropriate stories.
You do. Didn't you do that during the, you had an afternoon drink stream too, right? Like a daytime drink.
I used to do Bloody Mary brunch with Rambling Canuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to quit doing that because I was getting way too drunk in the middle of the day.
Your wife was gonna kill you, stumbling out of that room.
Yeah, she was at work, so I would sit here by myself.
You got nothing done on the honey day list, did you?
Yeah, no. I would get up in the morning, make a huge bottle of Bloody Marys, and then we would stream and talk about like lots of historical kind of stuff. He's a history buff like I am, so we'd talk about the historical kind of stuff, and I would get hammered on Bloody Marys. And then like you said, my wife would come home from work, and I would be drunk, and because I'd been drinking since 11 or 12 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. And she'd be like, "Did you get the laundry out of the dryer and fold it?" And you're like, "Nah, not." And she's like, "Son of a bitch."
I was on YouTube. No. She didn't like that excuse for some reason. I don't know.
No, I wonder why. I can't imagine why she wouldn't like that.
So if there's one piece of advice you could give to somebody that's thinking right now about, I'm going to do my first campaign, what would one piece of advice that you could give to somebody that you learned from your first campaign that could possibly make their life easier or make it easier for them?
Biggest piece of advice, get your YouTube channel going. Get on live streams. Find a friend group that can give you advice, people that actually know what they're doing. Market yourself, stay positive, but above all, you have to be able to say, you can't rely on anybody else to sell your product, to sell your book for you. So starting a YouTube channel, same thing John Malin says, start your channel, build yourself an audience. If you have an audience, then they'll back your book. But if you're like me and you start off with nothing, like you show up day one talking about, I got a book, y'all, and nobody even knows who you are, it doesn't work well. So definitely start a YouTube channel, start mingling with people that are into comic books. I've heard a lot of guys, and I've even noticed it as well. If you are an artist and not a writer, do fan art. If you see somebody whose campaign you really, really, really love, do some fan art for it. There are so many people that are pulled in as an artist on a book just because somebody saw their fan art for something else and loved it. And they're like, hey, I saw this character that you drew for so-and-so. Would you like to come on to this project with me? So get out there. Get yourself out there, and just stay positive. Don't do the drama streams. Just stay positive, stay upbeat, and build an audience. Build an audience.
And learn what a glory hole is.
And learn what a glory hole is, and don't put your eye up to it. Don't look through it. You won't get what you think you're going to get when you look through that. It'll poke you in the eye.
Clipped again. JJ's clipping all this. He's gonna do a best of video.
Yay! We'll definitely go over and get a copy of Street Smarts from this week, because I was on there with Mary and we talked about blue waffles. The Eggo ones, Lord. The Eggo blue waffles, not.
You had to correct me, so you also know what
yeah, I do.
Waffle is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. I did it, but then I Googled it, and I was really, really, really disappointed and really grossed out by what I found.
My inappropriate glory hole story also involves this same person that him and the Urban Dictionary are really good friends. We'll talk about this after the stream too. It's another line of inappropriate stories that all come from this one guy. Anyway.
That's great. Yeah, I'm
So
too late, Trace. We're past that at this point. I've already said it. The blue waffles.
so you've went from campaign to campaign to campaign to campaign, and from what you and Peter saying, it sounds like it's going to keep being campaign to campaign to campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ever thinking about just taking a taking a break?
No, no, because now I am the writer, so I don't. Pete's doing the hard work. I mean, don't get writing's hard. It's not. I'm not gonna like just make it seem like I'm not doing nothing. The writing is hard to come up with a good, entertaining story, but Peter's the one that's killing himself doing the art on this book. So yeah, which frees me up to constantly be thinking up new stories, be coming up with new ideas. Because you never know when you're going to get a weird idea. You know what I mean? Like Super Dead, I think if I'm correct, I thought of doing Super Dead while I was folding clothes. Like I was literally sitting on my bed with a big, my basket of clean clothes dumped on all over my bed, sitting there folding. I thought, that would be a really cool comic. And so, yeah, you never know when inspiration is going to hit. So for me, it's just waiting until, something, comes to me to be able to write, but for Peter, he's the one doing everything. So no, I'm going to keep going strong. I work with Clint Holinsky as well. So keep the artist working, right? Pete likes money. So he draws because he wants to. He likes that money. So yeah, we'll keep doing it until Pete finally does his final fuck off summers. Like he did it. He won't even get up. I tried to get him to get up in the morning and do exercise. Do some squats, do some running miles because I've heard that keep your body and your mind strong and the art will show. Pete told me to fuck off. He won't do it. That's subordinate. He won't do nothing wrong.
He already said what his regiment was a little farther up.
Handle flying Pete.
That sounds about right.
And yes, see, Vlad has an idea for me for a book he's wanting to do. Clint and I are going to be doing Pirate Queen 2. Peter and I have an idea for a kind of a slasher type book. We just announced that we're going to be doing one, a Jack Ripper vampire book that we're going to be doing. So no, I plan to keep going until people are like, okay, I've had enough of this other bitch. I can't no more. So I'm just going to keep going until then.
Well, the ideals are all varied. It's so many different kind of genres and types of books.
Right.
So to me, that would keep it interesting.
Well, yeah,
for you and even for Pete, even though he's the one doing all the drawing.
What for Pete, like Pete said,
things.
Yeah, what Pete has to honestly, if you don't give artists something different, if you have an artist that does, no matter how badass the book is, but like say The Darkness, right? You have an artist that works on The Darkness for 2 years straight. He's gonna get burned out. He's gonna burn out on drawing that, and he's gonna stop putting his best into it. So it is better to swap out campaigns like that, and it allows Pete to, like every day right now as he's doing Work the Wizard, because it's such simple art for him, he's still working on our, Jack the Ripper vampire book to work on his more high detailed stuff to keep himself sharp. But they don't like working on the same book for over and over and over and over. It drives them crazy. So yeah, we want to keep it interesting. Keep people, if you're not into Work the Wizard, hopefully you're into Pirate Queen. If you're not into Pirate Queen, hopefully you're into Super Dead. Eventually I'm hoping that no matter who you are and what you're into, I will have a book or a series, a line of books that you can get that fits that genre that you're into, is the hope anyways. Minus a few that I just don't think I could write well. Like I don't know that I could write a robot book all that well. I've never tried. It's never been my genre. But Wyatt's got, his new book, Eternal Armor, and his is a robot book. And Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be good.
Yeah, I've got to read a little bit of it as he's working on it, and I think it's his best book to date. Honestly, I like it. I like where it's going. I liked Ardonna a lot too. Don't get me wrong, and I loved Rocket Gal. I really like this one though. I think this one's going to be awesome.
Yes, fatty space boobs.
Space boobs. And like what?
So let's see. We've been going about 45 minutes, minus the random thoughts of inappropriate stories on my part, not on Mandy's part.
Oh no, it's my fault too. I tend to take things off rails a lot. I'm getting really bad about it during book promotions too. I'll notice I'll interrupt somebody talking about something. Like some guy was from Australia the other day, and I just kept talking to him about Vegemite. And like, dude's just trying to sell his book, and I'm like, I want some Vegemite. And how the hell are you gonna try to sell your book with some dumbass girl asking you about Vegemite? But that's what I did to him. So I'm a little spacey.
I have two more questions, a serious one and a cheeky one.
Okay.
We'll do the serious one first. We'll close with the cheeky one.
Okay.
If you could go back in time to your younger self, knowing what you know today, what would you tell yourself?
To get your ass on the internet while you're 19 and 20. Start early. Don't wait until you're, a mom would take it. I could have been, if I would have known about this shit, I had the energy at 19. I would have been doing these 24-hour streams. I would have been all over this shit. But again, I was shy. So I was on the internet. Saying I wasn't on the internet sounds really dumb because obviously I'm not, I didn't live under a rock. I was on the internet, but I wish I would have gotten to YouTube when it was new. I wish I would have gotten more into Twitch when it was new, and not have come in, almost like a lot of the stuff almost seems like I came in right as it was dying a little bit. Like, because I know YouTube used to be, not that it's not okay now, but, you hear a lot of people bitching about how bad it is now compared to what it used to be with the freedom for the creators. I never got to experience the creator freedom. I came in where you're worried about showing this clip or worried about that, you're constantly worried about sidestepping rules and all of this. So yeah, I think if I would have started this when I was younger, I would have done, I would really be doing better now because I would have like 10 years on it already. So, yeah.
Well, and sort of to go along with what you're saying, the time has gone for you to start a YouTube channel and become a millionaire, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know, the best example I can give of somebody who I have watched go from a very, very small YouTube creator to just amazing. And I've loved him from the moment I met him because, the same reason everybody else loves him, which is Drunk 3PO. I think he is a beautiful example of somebody, because when I met Drunk, he was, I don't know, he had like 300 subs or something. He was like just a small YouTuber, but he was sweet and he was funny and he was kind-hearted. And yeah, he's blown up and he is almost like celebrity status now. And that's so cool for him. And I can't think of anybody that deserves it more. He's such, he really is a kind-hearted person. He genuinely is. So yeah, I don't know. I think if you have the drive and the luck factor of somebody noticing you, somebody that can help noticing you. But yeah, mostly your time of, like, you ain't going to become Markiplier. There's already a Markiplier. You're not going to become, like, the Septiceye guy, or Cupquake, who is adorable, by the way. But yeah, I wish I would have started when I was younger. I feel like if I would have been on the YouTube train really early on, I could have been a millionaire by now. Who knows?
I thought you were going to say the YouTubes.
The YouTubes.
That's what I thought you were going to say, not the YouTube train. I thought you're going to sound really old and like a hillbilly. If I was on the YouTubes.
The YouTubes and the face space. Somebody called it face space. Yeah. They got MySpace and Facebook confused, and it was funny to me, the face space. You're over there on that all face right. Space, aren't you?
One last question, then we'll wrap it up.
All right.
And this is kind of a cheeky question, but I think it's funny.
Okay.
With all the current world situation that's been going on, as everybody knows, since last year, I'm sure you've seen news stories and tweets and different things on your interweb journeys. During the beer bug, did you ever sit there and think to yourself, I should make an OnlyFans. I can make a lot of money.
No, because I saw the girls that had OnlyFans, and they were raising all kinds of hell because the market's getting, all the people are like, all the women that don't have like work right now are making OnlyFans, and the market is getting like oversaturated, and these girls are angry. And I mean, so like, here's the thing, right? If I'm going to show, I'm proud of what I got. There is no denying that. I am very, very proud of what I got over here. I know what I got. It's good stuff. But at the same time, I ain't making some OnlyFans and running the risk of like 2 people signing up. Hell no. Hell no. So... Now, Pete, I've been trying to get Pete to do one, but he's saying he's starting one. He won't. I told him, start it and give me 50% of the money. Total ass. He won't do it. But yeah, no, I would want, like, you know. Yeah.
Pete could specialize in sitting there in knickers and messing with stuff from Poundland.
I don't think Pete wears pants. I don't know that to be a fact. But he has claimed that he often does not have on pants. I don't know that to be true. I am trying to pimp you out. You won't let me. I would make an amazing madam. And Pete's just being a real hard ass about it. So I try to get him to do foot porn. He won't do it. He refuses, absolutely refuses to do foot porn. I've even found ways that he doesn't got to be too nasty about it. Like, look, we'll get some grapes. Just start squishing your feet in them. That's bank, boy. Nope. Won't do it.
It's funny you say that because there's a morning radio show in Atlanta, and one of the girls that's on there, she started off as like a producer. Now she's kind of on the show more, like kind of got worked into like the cast. You know how morning radio shows are, the cast of characters. And as a joke, she made. I don't remember if it was an OnlyFans. It may not have actually been an OnlyFans. It was some kind of website if it wasn't OnlyFans. It was some kind of website where you could put... It was something like OnlyFans. And she did it as a joke. And it was like pictures of her feet. And all of a sudden now she's making all this money.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's just... people are like you said, people are sending her requests like, hey, could you put your feet in
bananas, yeah, like
in a cream pie.
Yes, pour honey all over your toes and focus on that.
I'll pay you $20. I'll pay you $20 if you stick your foot in a pumpkin pie.
Yeah, exactly. And there's money in it. There's money in that. You know,
they were making fun of her, but she's like, hey, if somebody wants to pay me $20 to stick my foot in a pie, you know,
Right, exactly. I mean, I would stick my foot in a pie for $20, no problem. Hell, for 20
that one too.
For $20, you know, I'll squish up some grapes. I'll squish a banana, maybe. I don't know. They're feet, and I don't know. I don't get the thing with feet, so I would be down.
Like most of my conversations or stories, it starts with a guy I work with because I work with all these hundreds of different people.
Right.
Randomly, all different times. I work with a guy that's super into feet. He's the only person I've ever known that, I mean, like, is out. He's loud and he's proud. He's out of the closet on the feet.
He's a foot lover. It ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
He doesn't hide it at all. His nickname, in fact, is Dirty Jim, is what everybody calls him for multiple reasons.
No.
But yeah,
Oh
So
no, Dirty Jim. That's a bad name. That's not a good
yeah,
one.
there's a myriad of things that end up with that nickname, but that's one of the things that he is not afraid to hide the fact that he loves him some piggies.
He loves him. That.
Yeah.
I love when people say it like that. He loves him some piggies. But yeah, since I found out Pete has webbed toes, I really tried to push him for foot porn because he's got funky feet anyway. So now you got the feet, and it's like it's not it's like an oddity type foot, right? So double the money. Double the money.
That would definitely be a premium.
Exactly. Peach he's a hard ass. He just wants to draw stuff. Vlad, you're absolutely, it is better than Glory Hole Girl. I'll give it that. It is an up from the Glory Hole Girl. But I did sit back really proud of that. I was like, yeah, I knew something. I'm a dumbass.
Well, thank you for joining me, Mandy, for this little shit show of an interview that I just did.
Thank you for having me. I do miss Name That Tune though. I do miss it because I'm like,
we should be back next Sunday.
Yeah.
I said, Chris. I'm sure you saw in the chat. Chris had some personal things going on, so
I did. Yeah.
That's how this ended up because I did Jackbox last week, and I was like, I mean, I could do Jackbox again, or I could either not stream or come up with something else. That's when I was like, well, Mandy's always around. Let's have a conversation with Mandy.
Yeah, it's been a long time. The first time I was here, I think you did an interview with me. But God, that was like your first or second stream, period, right?
That was Mox and I.
Yeah.
And that's when we were doing the random question thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd ask you questions, he'd ask you questions, and at the end we had the DOS boot where if you got it wrong, you got booted.
I got booted. The one time I was here, I got
I think booted. Everybody but one person got
who
booted.
Did not get booted?
I'd have to go back and look. But I'm pretty sure there was one person.
I bet it was Mary's ass. I don't remember.
It might have
been. She always gets answers right. Damn her and her right answer.
You're just saying that, Pete, because you want me to do an interview with you.
Pete does. Pete wants you to interview him. Ask about them funky toes.
And Vlad does too.
Yes. Get Vlad on here too. Make him answer questions. Put him in the hot seat.
I may start throwing these in here and there instead of doing Jackbox or something.
And ask him how talk to Vlad about how when he licks his light, it comes on. He won't do it. I try to because look, you know how like when your battery dies, if you lick it, like sometimes when you lick stuff, it works again, right? Like you have a pen that won't write. You lick it a little bit and then it'll write again. In a battery, if you touch it to your tongue and stick it in the thing, back in the remote control, you may get a couple more flicks out of it because you licked it. He won't lick his lights. And that's why they ain't working all the time, because he won't lick them.
So, you all heard it here first. If something doesn't work, Mandy says lick it.
Lick it. If you lick it, then it'll work. Just try. You think I'm crazy. It works. You'll get like 2 more clicks out of that remote control.
Patty, I don't know about six-fingered ladies, Fatty, but I do have a 6-toed cat named Hemingway.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, he's a 6-toed Maine Coon cat. Maine Coon, however you say
he's a big cat then.
Well, he's mostly Maine Coon, but he's mixed with something else because he looks exactly like a Maine Coon, but he's not
as big, smaller.
He's more.
Well, maybe
normal size.
Maybe he's a little person. Because I had a kitten once, and I'm pretty sure it was a little person cat. Like it was like 12 weeks old or 13 weeks old, and it was still like that little. It was tiny, but it was like healthy. It was eating good. It was drinking. It was playing. It was, a kitten, but it was teeny tiny.
So I have a dwarf rabbit, which that's an actual, like a breed.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like a hamster size, but it's it's
right.
smaller.
Those are cute.
Yeah, the first rabbit that we got is a dwarf.
Aww.
He's
what color is he?
Dwarf Rex, black.
Oh, my first bunny was black too.
I think he's a Rex. I think's the breed. He's a dwarf Rex.
Do you feed him grapes?
I think.
I fed my rabbit grapes. He loved them.
They like bananas and they like strawberries. Ooh. But they only get them sometimes because they're not really good for them to eat them.
Yeah. I gave mine lettuce and carrots and grapes. Mm-hmm. Grapes was his favorite, though. He would tear up some grapes. He was a fan.
You have to be careful what you feed rabbits, even carrots, because Bugs Bunny and everything. Everybody thinks, oh, rabbits love carrots. Well, they'll eat carrots. Mm-hmm. But the problem with rabbits is you have to be careful exactly what you feed them, because something I didn't know until we got into the rabbits, because until we had to put one to sleep and one passed away, we had 6. Now we have 4. But the end of last year, beginning of this year wasn't good for the Honstar bunny population.
Oh, that's
something
sad.
I didn't know is because we had to actually take one of our rabbits because it was acting lame, I guess you would call it, wasn't itself.
Right, being lethargic.
I found out that rabbits can't fart.
What?
So if you feed them something that bubbles their stomach up too much, they get sick.
What do you mean they can't fart?
They can't fart. That came from a veterinarian. Rabbits cannot fart.
But they can shit.
But they can't pass gas. Something to do with the way their digestive tract is.
That is the strangest fact I think I have ever heard. That is so bizarre.
And you being a mom, you'll know what I'm talking about. We had to give it Mylicon drops.
Oh, yeah. For
you
gas.
know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, gas drops.
The little baby gas drops.
Yeah.
Because I used to give them to my kids.
When
they were little. But yeah, and unfortunately, he's the one we had to have put to sleep, Mr. Fuzzy. He was a lion head, but
oh, those are cute too.
He had
That's sad.
Well, we called him. His name was actually Simba because we found him when we went to Disney World. Not at Disney World, but we stayed at a condo and the people that lived across the hall got evicted, so they just chucked him out on the porch.
Oh, people that do that are so fucking disgusting to me.
So we got home from Disney, and at that time we only had one rabbit, the Dwarf Rex that we still have. We call him the OGB because he's the oldest one. And we come home from Disney, and my kids were still little, and they get to the top of the stairs at the condo, and my wife and my kids start freaking out. And I'm the dad behind them lugging all the stuff. So, and I've been at Disney all day, so I'm aggravated. It's July.
Of course.
And I'm like, what are y'all screaming about? And they're like, there's a rabbit up here. And I was like, there ain't a rabbit up there. And they're like, no, there's a rabbit just sitting up here. And I'm like, there is not a damn rabbit sitting up here on the porch in a condo in Kissimmee, Florida.
And then there was.
Sure enough, they set him outside, on the doormat.
Yeah.
And he just sat there until we got there.
Wrong. That is so wrong.
And he was still a baby.
Oh,
hey,
that's so wrong.
He was still a baby. Because he didn't have his full mane yet.
Peter is asking if I will sing the hardcore Pornosaur song. Have you heard it yet, hon?
Actually, I have not.
I wrote a song, a little ditty to go along with hardcore Pornosaur. So I will sing it for you since Peter is, I don't know why Peter is requesting it, but he is. So, okay. Hardcore Pornosaur. He's a big dick daddy. It's good, right? It's catchy.
That's the whole song.
Yeah, that's all I got. It's a work in progress. Okay. And yes, you guys, I saw, I think it was Fatty asking, boy, yeah, we got it back up on Amazon, Hardcore Pornosaur. They tried to take me down, and it's been enough time now that I'm hoping the trolls that flagged it over and over again, maybe they won't notice, and we got a new cover for it. So, yeah, it is back up on Amazon, and be on the lookout for my pirate book, because it's going to be coming pretty soon.
I saw the new cover. It does look cool.
It does. It looks really good. I like it.
That song is as long as the book.
It's a novella, Peter. It is a novella. And look at how much happens in that little 16 pages. A lot happens. An epic romance blossoms. And then a 3-way, love triangle happens. You've got planes being hijacked. I mean, yes, it's by raptors, but the plane has been hijacked. I mean, it's a lot happens in those 16 pages.
All right. We'll wrap it up because it's going to go way downhill now, and I'm going to start telling inappropriate stories of stuff I know about.
Shut up, Peter. Pete, hush. It was beautiful. The cover, and no, I spent a lot of time writing that, but I didn't. But we'll say I did. I
feel like that's an argument that happens quite a bit between writers and artists.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It can't just be
the writer thinks they're the one doing all the work. The artist is like, "F you just typed like 3 pages. I've been drawing until my hand fell off for the last 6 months."
And I can tell you, Peter has showed me with Super Dead, he had calluses on his fingers. Like, he had to put Band-Aids because his fingers were bleeding from sitting there drawing so much on Super Dead. So
it seems like with webbed toes, he could figure out some way to use those to his advantage.
Right. Use what you got. Go do some kind of
multitask
swimming.
Then you could be on a stream and be like drawing 2 different books with your feet.
Mm-hmm. And I want to say it. Film it though. You have to record it or it didn't happen.
He can put it on his OnlyFans.
On your OnlyFans, yes. And split it with me, 50%. Because I would split my OnlyFans with him 50%. I wouldn't. I'd keep all the money. They're my boobs. I'd keep it.
Oh, you heard it here first. They're Mandy's boobs. She's keeping it.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm sure everybody knows who you are, but you have to do the catchphrase and you tell everybody where you are, where they can find you, what you got going on.
All right, so like what? So yes, y'all all know who I am, but in case you don't, I'm Mandy Summers. You can find me at my YouTube channel, Mandy Summers. Hit me up on Instagram or what am I saying? Twitter or MySpace. But there you would hunt for me at Wart the Wizard. So yeah, you guys come and hang out with me on my YouTube channel. We do a lot of like Magic the Gathering stuff, where Trace and I are, well, we've got each other addicted and we're really bad influences on each other. Also do book promotions every Friday. So if you want to come check out what kind of books are coming out. And this Friday, we actually have Jesse Milestone and Jeff for World Class Bullshitter. They're going to be coming on talking about Jeff's book, Stealing Solo. So I'm really, really excited about that because I missed the first run of it because I came into comics right after it was done. So I'm really excited about that. And I do Toxic Film on Monday nights, and on Saturday I do CG Ladies Night. And other than that, my schedule's kind of when I feel like streaming. But so follow me and hit the bell, ring the bell for notifications so you know when I go live and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, Mandy, for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
It is. Yeah, it is fun. Something kind of different.
I took us off track a few times, but still fun.
Not any more than I did. And honestly, if I had kept going off track, this would have been like a 3-hour stream with like 20 minutes of interview and 2.5 hours of inappropriate stories.
It does happen sometimes.
But until next time, everybody, thanks for joining us. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Names I know, names I don't quite know that often. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to me. I'm creeping up towards 400 people.
Oh, dude, that's so awesome.
Well, I'm say creeping up. I'm like 330 something right now.
No, that doesn't matter. When you get 420, we have to have a big stream for it. Because I didn't do it on my channel, but we need to here. We need to do a 420 celebration. Okay. Yeah.
But everybody have a good night.
Night, you guys. I love y'all.
I'm trying to find Awkward Wave. Bye. If this is your first time joining us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HanstarYT. Good night, everybody.